Good afternoon, everyone. Actually, I asked to prepare your point of sale system project by B9 students, right? B9 first batch, B9 student, B9 section first batch students. They're saying they are not prepared. So, and they did not inform me before. When I asked, they said they are not ready for presentation. Actually, I assigned one work for B9 students, 10 members were there, but they are not ready. So what? So should not repeat this. Whatever the thing is, like we have mid exams in every 2 weeks. So it's not possible to extend. Every 2 weeks, you have to write one module test. So that is not an excuse. So you should be ready. In between, we are getting Saturday, Sunday holiday, right? So the Saturday, Sunday, one day is enough. There are 10 members in a batch. So 2 hours is enough. If everyone work together, 2 hours is enough to create one project. It's a batch work, not single person work, right? So I won't permit this excuses in the coming sessions. You should be ready for the presentation. We have very less time. And every week we'll get only one lab, that to 2 hour lab. So at the time you have to present. Should not give excuses for the coming batches. Don't repeat this. So today I'm planning to explain about DFD, how to draw the DFD. In the syllabus they mentioned DFD also. So when you prepare your project, you should draw the DFD also. So ATM, what is DFD? Before coming to DFD drawing, what do you mean by DFD? I already taught this part, DFD in module 2. Already wrote the exams too, this part, prepared. So what is DFDs? Anyone remember it? 88 members are there. What do you mean by DFD? So in your project, you should include this DFD part also. What is DFDs? Can you hear me? 114 students are there. Can you hear me? So what is DFDs? In analysis model, we have different modeling. In that flow-oriented modeling, we are creating data flow diagram and control flow diagrams. In data flow diagram, what we are representing? The flow of data, right? How can you represent the flow of data? Flow of data between different processes. Actually here, DFT is called DFT. Actually, it's a kind of abstraction, right? Different level of abstraction is there. Level 0 is there, level 1, level 2 is there. Level 0 represents the overview. So it is called context diagram. Okay, level 0 DFT means context diagram. Actually, it gives the abstract view. Means what is the level of abstraction here? In context diagram, level of abstraction is high. Okay, we are not disclosing the details, only we are showing the entities and the relationships. how the entities, input entities and output entities are connected through process. So we can go for either Ghanaian Sarson or Udenan code method. There are two notations you can use. Either you can go for the left side or right side. The process here represented, here a process, data store, external entity, and data flow is there. But in both data store, there is a slight difference. On Ghanaian Sarson, we are using an open, both are open-ended rectangular, but one is in Ghanaian Sarson, you can see rectangle is divided, but here rectangle, single rectangle, one open-ended rectangle. And process one is a bubble. Erdogan code is using bubble, and other one is process symbol. So it depends on the platform you see. Here we are using StarUML platform. In StarUML platform, we are using the left Ghanaian Sarson method. So then you should remember this rule while writing the while drawing the data flow diagram. First thing is, here in the first diagram, you could see here two entities are connecting. We could not connect two entities together. We need some processing in between. So we can connect two entities through one process. So this is the correct method. And we should not store something directly from the external entity. Like you should not store something directly without process. So we need in any process in between, should not connect in this way. And should not from the storage unit, you should not direct, you need some processing in between. So next is, you should not connect to data source. Data source means the data which we are storing in data source. So repository should not connect together. So these are the some rules. Always we need a process in between, you should remember. And when it comes to DFD 0, you should not use data, database, data stores, or repository should not draw away, because in DFD 0, you have to express only the overview. You should not give the internal details. Okay. So this one I explained in the class itself. Here, actually, here we use the Erdogan code method in that Erdogan code notations. So here we use bubble, and external entities are represented, internal and external entity. External entities, input and output. So here control panel sensors are we are taking input and we are giving output to control panel, display, alarm, and telephone line. So this is the external entities that we represented in a rectangle form. So next, how to draw this diagram of ATM. I will show you what is the ATM DFD. It's very simple, but when you draw the projects diagrams, you should add this DFD part also. So this is level 0 DFD. In level 0 DFD, we just give the overview. The ATM machine is there. What are the input? Customer keypad and control system. Thus, these are the input we are inputs, and where we are getting output, either in screen or printout, dispenser, cash dispenser, a card reader. These are the output part. Okay. Card reader actually input only. Input. Okay. So these are the card reader, control system, key part. As there in these are the input giving entities, means both are external entities, but input we are giving through this way, and output we are getting as cash dispenser. Cash is available in cash dispenser, and you can take a printout, and even the monitor also, one of the screen also, one of the output. So draw this diagram in using starring. Okay, then take one pick. Take roll this diagram. Draw in your notebook. Then after that, we can draw in a. Are you maintaining an observation book? Everybody has to maintain an observation book. Once the college will reopen, everyone has to submit it. We don't have any other document. The remaining in a lab record, I will ask you to take the printout of what you created. The project which you submitted, the same printout you can take, no need to draw. But in observation book, all diagrams you have to draw using pencil. The neat sketch should be there. Okay, then draw this diagram in your notebook. Observation. This is a DFD 0. Completed? Then we can draw the diagram using star ruler. Okay, here the model and diagram, data flow diagram is there. Take data flow diagram first. Then here, process. What is the process here? Your processing machine is ATM, right? You can give the external entities. What are the external entities? Key part. Then control systems. Then card reader. These are the input entities. Then output entities. Screen, printout. It's very simple thing, but you should write. Screen. Cash dispenser is the cash dispenser. Then printout dispenser is there. This is output. And you can add here rounded rectangle, ellipse are there, the annotations you can see. If you want, you can add that also. And what is this? This is ATM Dft 0, right? Dft 0. And right here, name and roll number. Enter here, name and roll number. And then you can use a text or note. Completed. Have you completed it? And save this file, export diagram as JPEG. Have you completed? Have you completed or not? 127 students are there. Are you doing or not? What it represents? It represents the interaction between the external entities. These are input elements, these are output elements, how they are interacting. So just look at the data flow direction. That's the only thing you need to remember. The remaining things, you know, external entities are there in ATM. So only one person from roll class B11 completed. What about others? Are you doing or not? B9, anybody is there? B9, anyone is there? So next we are going to draw the DFD1. Actually, DFD2 is not needed. DFD1 is enough. Actually, ATM is not a complex thing. So only DFD01 is enough to explain all the operations in an ATM. If any of the parts need extra explanations, you can go for DFD2. But in case of ATM, I think ATM DFD01 is enough. Okay. So how the DFD1 looks. First you draw this DFD1. In your notebook. Draw DFD1 in your notebook. What does the DFD1 represent? How the system is functioning, right? So here, the process represented using bubbles that you can use the symbol also. So what are the process here? Verify the PIN and account number and display the customer option and select the service and checks availability of the amount and update the database. These are the operations or the process which is performing. So that we are representing as process. So here we use the bubble notations, or else you can use the other rectangular with the divided rectangle also you can use. So here, what is the input? First, card reader. Card reader take the input, account number and PIN, and verify the PIN and account number by the banking system only. And after that, customer should enter the PIN. Customer should enter the PIN and customer should enter the card. So verification, actually here in this diagram, we represent only single stage verification for both card and account. Account PIN number. The next is if the card is valid and the PIN number also valid, you can choose the options, what kind of service you need. You can select the service through the control systems. Then what are the things? Suppose if you want to take a printout, you can ask the prepare printout, then the printout dispenser will print, give the printout. And if you want request for withdrawal, you can withdraw some amount. So you check the availability of amount. If that check the requested amount is there in your account, you can withdraw it. So based on that, if you request, then account database will be updated. And the cash will be dispensed by the cash dispenser. So this is the same diagram you can draw in many ways. This is one of the ways. Okay. But all the operation should be there. That's it. You could draw the same diagram in many ways. Here actually PIN and account verification we are doing in a single stage, but those are two different processes. If you consider, you can go for two different process. So this is one of the simplest DFT one diagram for ATM. Draw the diagram. B9 students, are you following me? B10 students also joined, right? Lalita mom's students.
Yes, ma'am. Following.
Okay, you can also draw that. Must you draw this diagram in your observation book? If you complete it, then we can draw in star new. Okay, we can draw the diagram. What are the process here? Verify, the PIN and account number. Completed, huh? Have you completed the DFT one? Again, write your name and the roll number. DFD one schedules. Okay, how many of you are doing this Raise your hands. 134 students are there, they're present, but very few students are responding. Always few members are responding. I can remember their names also. Remaining students are not responding. So this diagram actually, many times I told you the DFD diagrams we can draw in many ways, many perspective. Okay, this is not the one and only one diagram. You can draw in many ways. Which when one is spending, finish this. Just understand what are the notations we are using and what is the meaning of notation. Should not connect to data stores, should not connect to entities, should not connect to processes directly. Always you need a process in between. That's it. And understand the system, then you can directly draw. Okay, DFD2 is not needed. Here in this diagram, none of the parts need more explanation. This is enough. If you want to draw a withdrawal service, you can explain that part more in DFD2. Completed? Then finish this. Do it fast. Hope everyone completed. Completed or not? 131 students, have you completed? Then, so all the project batches, they should draw this DFD diagram also. Draw your DFD 0 and 1. Some projects may need DFD 2 also. Based on the requirement, you have to draw it. So, today I will check. One thing is there. Okay, then SRS document, actually, how to draw the, how to write the SRS document. What is SRS document? Software requirement specification. What is SRS? When I took the first unit, I told you about SRS document. Even the second unit also we repeat that. What is it? Initially, we collect all the requirements from the customer, right? When we collect the requirement from the customer, that is in the form of a natural language, because a customer can only understand the natural language. But you are converting this into more technical form using some diagrams, symbols, notations, even formulas. You can formulas, graphs. That we can include in the requirement specification, which we are creating from the collected user requirements, but that is using by the developer, not the customer. So you can include all the mathematical notations, formulas, diagrams. So we call it as more technical. So when you write the software requirement specification, this is a sample software requirement specification I'm explaining. This one, how it looks like. It contains, you should write the purpose, scope, definitions. If you use any acronyms, you can use the acronyms, abbreviations, then references, overview, then overall description of the system, then product perspective, product functions, user characteristics, constraints. Is there any constraints, assumptions, and dependencies? And when it comes to external interface requirement, user interface, how that system can interact with the user, and hardware interfaces, software interfaces, communication interfaces, you can include, and system features. Other than functional requirement, if there are any non-functional requirements are there, like performance, capacity, quality, you can mention those requirements also. Then software system attributes like reliability, availability, security, maintainability, those things you can include. This is the way you have to write the software requirement specification or SRS document. So this is an example here. We here first introduce what is an ATM system is. ATM is an automated teller machine, you know. Then what is that? What is the purpose? Purpose of ATM machine? ATM machine develop purpose for means who are using that ATM machine? Developers, documentations, bank people, managerial people are using this SRS document. So you can include the scope. Scope means with going bank and some facilities, right? So like cash withdrawals, balance transfer, deposits, inquiry, credit card advances, like these features, and printout of the receipt. These things, without going to the bank, you can access some facilities. That is the scope. Then definitions, acronym, and abbreviations. If you use anything, you can include in form of a table. Then what are the references used to create this document? Can go explain that. You can mention the reference part. Then overview of the system. Then what is the product perspective, overall description. You have to mention the product. ATM is a single functional unit, consists of various subcomponents, and it allows the user to access the bank account remotely through the ATM without a human interaction. Human means human to bank interaction. Then what are the hardware components you need, and what is the memory, what is capacity that we can mention in the product perspective. Then what are the product functions? You can select the language, you can maintain the account, and you can withdraw or deposit. You can fix the amount, then money transfer. You can do some balance inquiry, billing, cancelling, map locating issues. Okay, whatever purpose facilities you can probably use, that you can list out here. Then characteristics. What is the user characteristics? Actually, we are developing ATM machine not only for an experienced customer, for a novice user, a new person, not only in context of ATM. Other machines also, when you develop a new machine, you have to consider all type of users, like novice users, experienced users. Also, you need to consider here. You can consider those factors. That's why for a novice user, when he uses the machine first time, he needs some help. So that explanations are there. So if you don't know things, everything is displayed on the control panel. You can read and do that particular operation. So next is, what are the constraints? What are the constraints the project has? The ATM service at most one person at a time. That is a constraint, right? At a time, only one person can use an ATM. The number of invalid pin entries attempted must not exceed 3. So generally, 3 invalid attempts are allowed. After that, it automatically the account become lock. That is for avoiding the theft. Then simultaneous access to an account through both ATM and bank is not supported. You can do only one operation at a time. The minimum amount of money a user can withdraw is ₹100. So below that, if you want a denomination less than 100, you can't use the ATM machine. So those constraints you need to mention, and maximum amount also there. Per day, some I think 15,000 we can withdraw. And before the transaction carried out, a check is performed by machine to ensure minimum amount ₹1,000 left in user's account. We have minimum balance amount should be there in your account. That is also one of the constraints. And the minimum amount you can deposit is ₹100 and maximum amount is 10,000. You can use the ATM machine either for deposit purpose also. If you want to deposit, you can use the machine. But generally, we are not using. If you want to deposit, we are going to the bank directly. But that facility is also available in ATM. The user can sell an operator for mobile bill clearings. That's supported by bank. Actually, we are registering one account, one bank number with the, one mobile number with the bank. So that particular mobile only you can use for operation, and software require a minimum memory, and database also having some version constraints. And these are the some constraints. What are the constraints when you develop one system? So that you have to list out. Then user interface requirements. User interface means if you it should be user friendly. So what are the user interface requirements? That you can a login screen is provided at the beginning to enter the details. And unsuccessful login means reattempt. That screen will appear in screen. That message will appear. Reattempted. At maximum 3 is allowed. If a successful login means it will show that we can continue, right? Then you can choose select the language option is there. Language also there. So and in the screen, if the system is going to shut down, if the system is it's already blocked, and if it is it's under maintenance, the display message will be there on the screen. Like those things you have to include in the user interface, the requirement. The login, logout, detailed. Actually, this SRS is the input for design phase. So in the SRS document, every single thing should be clearly mentioned. Display screen, what is the VGA, what is the size, what is the color type, what is the resolution, and it should be touch screen facility should be available. Okay. Then hardware interface requirements, what are the ATM card, what are the physical dimensions, and power supply, those details. The card reader shall be magnetic stripe reader, and it has smart option, smart card option should be there. And what is the printer characteristics, what are the printer dimension, its features. Then software interface requirements, what are the software we need for login and operation. Then communication interface, remote banking and account management, how can we do with an ATM. Then validity checking, sequence information, error handling. Suppose if there is any abnormal situations comes, how can we do the hand situation. So like that, every single thing, any non-functional requirements are there that you have to mention. Capacity means an ATM 24-hour service is giving, right? So what are the dynamic requirements comes? That is not a planned thing. Then quality, software system attributes like reliability, availability, security, maintainability. Then what are the so in appendix explain the abbreviations and explanations. So in this way, why I show this SRS document is you should know what is an SRS document, how it looks like, what are the details we include when we are writing an SRS document. It's not an easy thing, right? You should explain each and every minute thing. So this SRS document we are giving to the developers, and developer has to go through all this thing. He has to study the system through SRS document, and he could understand the requirement, user requirement and system requirements, and functionality and non-functional requirements. Things he will get a very good clear picture from this SRS document. So it's very mandatory. This is the output of planning phase. So this thing, the requirement gathering phase, output is an SRS document that will given to the developer for his coding. Not coding. Before coding, we have design analysis phase. So before design analysis, we should get this SRS document. So clearly mentioned system specification, system requirement specification. Specification means hardware, software, functional, non-functional requirements. Everything should be clearly mentioned. To get an idea, I should just show that sample document. Then is it clear? Actually, in theory class, we learn about SRS document. So I just show you how it looks like. Okay. So So in the next class, B9 students, B9, group 1, B9 group 1, Shreya, Lakshmi, Mahindra, Vamshi, Shivani, Pavani, two Shreyas are there. Sambhavi, Lohita, and Chandana. These are the first batch members. Will you present in the next class? Are you there? None of them are listening the class. Now I call their names, but still I didn't get a reply. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 students are there. 10 students are there in one batch, but they are not responding. So what about batch 2 and B11 students? B11. B11 first group, Sharat, Madhavi, Akhila, Diksha, Srishti, Rishita, Manish, Mahita, Shravan, Yatharth. These are the 10 students. You should be ready with your presentation online shopping system. So in the next class, I am planning both presentations. And you have to do the works at home because this week we lost. We did not do that. Next week, probably we have again with the next module test. So module test will come very frequently. This is not like mid exams, right? Module test means 5 exams we need to cover within 4 or 5 months. So very frequently we have to write the exam. So I won't use more. So these batch members, are you listening? B11 students, group 1.
Yes, ma'am.
Ready with your presentation next week. Okay, there is no change.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, what all we have to include in the presentation, ma'am, excluding the diagrams?
Only diagrams, 9 diagrams plus DFD. DFD 01 depends on your project, may need DFD 3 also. You have to check. Maximum DFD 1 and 2 is mandatory. So that's it.
Okay.
SRS is not needed. Actually, I just give you an example. SRS is there in your syllabus, I think, but I have to check once. I think SRS or either or. So no need both. Anyway, we started UML diagrams. The 9 diagrams plus DFDs are enough. Another thing, everybody has to present. Not only the batch leaders. Every time a batch has one leader will be there. Okay, leader may be a performer. I agree that, but everybody has to present.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
everyone has to create the diagram also. I don't need a normal PPT. What you prepared in star UML, that you have to project. Okay, star UML diagram you need to project. That you can copy to that image you can copy to the PPT. Understand?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Ma'am, don't we have to write any details about the diagrams or the whatever is our topic?
Diagram name should be there.
That diagram name, yes, ma'am. Like later after that, do we have to explain what each diagram is and stuff?
No need general explanation because I already explained many times, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And that too, not like a presentation, it's like a discussion. So I will explain with you. I will join with you. And but suppose if you are going to explain on that project, which one? Yours is point of sale. Yours is online system, right?
Online system, ma'am. Online
Then
shopping.
you have online shopping system. So you have to give a brief introduction on what is online shopping system is.
Okay, ma'am.
That will be there in one slide. And no need to go for all the what is sequence diagram, what is class diagram. No need to explain those things. You just stick on your project and explain all those context only. Otherwise, we take more time. We don't have that much time. We have 10 batches.
Okay, ma'am.
So just, is there any other doubts?
Nothing for now, ma'am. Thank you.
So finish your remaining projects. Everyone submitted ATM project. I submitted. I'll check once more. Some students were pending before. I got only 50 submissions out of 60. What is this? Out of 57, I got 48 submissions only. Many are pending. Pending students are roll number 25, roll number 47, 16, 19, 20, 50, roll number 4, roll number 27, roll number 15. Assignment is overdue by 5 days, 18 hours. You can see that. So definitely, why these students are attending the class? These pending numbers. Are you attending? B9. Yes. B11. B11.
Yes. Is it?
Not audible. Can you please repeat?
Ma'am, is 53 there?
53. Submitted list or pending list?
Ma'am, submitted list. Ma'am. I submitted.
$53, yeah? Satya.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
So the names, the numbers which I call now, all are pending students only. So if you submit, you will get some marks. I can't give marks. Everything is recorded in Moodle. How many days pending each and every submission is also showing there. So I have proof is there. So next time onwards, then coming to B9 students, $47. This is the students list. Submit. Anyone submitted in WhatsApp? Anyone submitted? Some students called me to submit. Roll number 24 submitted. Actually created one in Google Form. For pending submission, I had given one more. Created one link. Is it visible, this textbook Coursera link? Actually, I added those in Moodle. Is it visible to you in your Moodle?
Ma'am, if we click book, it shows empty, ma'am.
Which one?
Textbook.
Textbook is empty.
Yes, ma'am.
Content, okay, not uploaded. What about the link? Link is there, Coursera link.
Yes, ma'am. It's there.
It's there. Okay, textbook, I will upload. Okay, one more thing. Here I created one extra link for submission. So those who are not submitted, there are 3 members submitted. It is from B6 only. Kerala from B6. B-learn also there. Okay. Some students submitted here 17, 25, 32, 36, 39, 47, 55, 16, 19, 24, 49, 54. Okay, I think all of you submitted. Some students submitted here. Not submitted that. Submission. Okay, whoever is pending, can you able to submit that previous link? I think you can able to. There is even though the time is over, I think you can able to submit, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then it will show how many days overdue. That's it.
Yes, ma'am.
Initially I thought you can't submit in that link. That's why I created a extra link. So I will delete this. Yeah, 3 years submitted from 6. Okay. So now finish your work, ATM. If anyone is there without completing your task, finish now. And after that, you can leave. No need to leave from this. I mean, don't log out. Today, actually, we completed that work. If any work is pending till today, and your observation book should be up to date. Once you come to campus, definitely I will ask you to submit. So update your observation book. So do your work. If you have any doubt on that, you can ask. I will be here itself. I won't leave. Don't quit the session. Be online and do your work.